Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 36, day 2, as we move into post-Labor Day. It is September 6, 2016. As always, please seek financial advisor when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. Support your knowledge of the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right. Summer trading volume starting to maybe cease to an end as we roll into September. Contract roller, FOMC, don't know what's going on, volatility. Hey, it doesn't matter. Just trade the charts in front of you every day and you'll be okay. Trying to figure out what's going on. A couple of econ data out here today. Not as bright as we hope it would be. Maybe that's all at this point. Bad news is good news, as means negative, means rates won't be changed, and that's what the market likes to hear. Check out Ken Polcari's newsletter highlights by clicking here on his daily newsletter. You can subscribe. Nice little inbox macro view from Ken every day back from vacation, so go ahead and check that out. Hey guys, today not a bad day to start out a Tuesday, shortened week here. Day number 2 is we had 4 setups, 20 ticks. Oh, sorry, got 201 ticks net. Hopefully better than 20 ticks. There it was. Big move on the NQ at the end there. Held on. YM, nice move down to the T350, and that was about it. Setup number 4 in the NQ was our setup of the day. All right. There's the big picture, trying to get a run to the NQ, the upside. Started with a little bit of a scalp there, in and out. Jumped back in on the break above the Globex high and got stopped out for 2 ticks. Oh well. Runs price action got back underneath the T350, ran that down for an in and out, and then went back upside and just ran it all with all 5 charts in the green. That's what I'm talking about every day, and we got a nice move to the NQ. Pretty much stayed out of the ES today here with price action lifting up here in the afternoon session, but it was the YM with one very nice move all the way, trend number 2, riding it all the way down after the pullback to the T350, all the way down to the T350 on a 4-hour chart, and bailing just before that, and pretty much left the afternoon session alone. All right, there it is, big picture, a little bit wider here. You can see the NQ with trend number 1 to the downside. I'm sorry, that's the ES. Trend number 1 to the downside after the sell signal, and then 1.2 after the nice pullback. Price action, once it lifted above the T350, you got yourself either jumping in here or after the pullback into the upside towards the end. Again, didn't touch the ES here today. YM, get my indices right here. This was the NQ with a nice move from the early get-go. Price action again from the market had a little bit of trouble getting above some of the key levels here, and then once it was able to break upside, price action, that was the move, trend number 1, and then once trend number 2, price action down here, and then back upside above that T350, and finally right there at the end in the last minutes. Again, was already on that and just bailed out there at the end of the day. Finally, YM, there it is, price action to the upside and pull back to the T350. Very nice controlled session. Again, missed most of the part of this move on the YM back to the upside. It was this piece of the pie to the downside on pretty much 4 to 5 charts in the red. So nice move overall. There it was, big picture, big trend of the day on the NQ, break above the 25-minute open range high, entry, and bailed on one contract as price action started to come back down. Keep the stop at break even, and reward all the way back upside. There it was, 534, finding that support on the 34 EMA. Bigger picture was in the green, 5 charts in the green. Hey, once you got a nice trend, take that 1-minute chart, make it a 2-minute. As long as you're staying in trend, make it a 3-minute. I keep it at a 3-minute. That's usually the max. And there it was, support at the 50 EMA on a 3-minute chart with the 144 below. So very nice support overall today. And don't need to look at that. That was the chart we were just looking at. All right, so let's jump it in. AD line here. Price action on the AD line, and again, there was a little bit concerned there. As NQ was a little divergent than the YM and the ES for a bit. In the AM session, you had NQ lifting up with an AD line downside, and tick count was pretty much flat. So a little bit riskier entry, but when you got that kind of entry, sometimes better to just go scalp on it and go in and out, or at least move that stop to break even in hopes that it will run a little bit higher. But market internal number 10 here, price action to the downside, holding at the 0 and pretty much flat for the middle portion of the session and lift. Again, one of the recommendations today in the trading room was to watch the NISS, or the advancers decliners, just for the NQ. Again, you're not having as much movement and volume, but again, not a bad choice when it comes to watching the advancers decliners. NISS for the NASDAQ can hone you in more for that index. All right, let's jump into fib targets, how we do today. There it is, fib levels, price action on the fib levels, target low, target high. Again, small range today based on small session on Monday, so nothing great here, as price action didn't have far to go to hit both those. Taking a look at the daily gaps, no open gaps to talk of. Crude closing out that gap last week. Again, we have gaps to the upside. As far as the rest of the indices, we're talking all downside from here on out, or watch that NQ as we reach up here to 48.36.50. Yes, at some point, I hate to tell you this, guys, but market action bound to at least pull back to some key levels. Whether that happens now or post-election or in 2017 was yet to be seen. But for the most part, for the last almost 2 months now, summertime trading has been sideways, lift, and sideways, and that's where we're sitting right now. Let's jump into the daily trend. Take a look at the pictures on the bigger markets, starting with crude here. Again, crude with a very nice move overnight. Sell signal downside, best move of the session right here, pre-market, early morning. Once we got inside the 25-minute open range, there were a couple setups. Again, I would have held off if I was inside this range or not. Hard call if you're trading the crude. Again, we saw a nice setup here, sell signal, 5 charts in the red that didn't go anywhere. But again, if you're watching the 25-minute open range, maybe watching that value area would have kept you inside and say, no, I'm not doing anything till at least I got up and broke above not only 25-minute open range, but above value area. So crude here in the afternoon with a nice move after a move downside. Take a look at the gold. Gold's the winner on this day here at a 10.7 flex Renko. Again, looks much nicer on a larger time frame, but very smooth, controlled entries. One price action got above that Globex high, buy signal, and very nice long move on 5 charts in the green. Take a look at the bonds. Another nice move here. Price action, buy signal, watching that T350. Anything above the T350 was a long buy signal, break above the range that you're watching. Hey, you're watching 5-minute range, 1 hour open range, cam lines, whatever you're watching. Once it broke out of that range, buy signal. If it comes right close to it, you wait a couple bars, break out. There you go, 5 charts in the green. You can't deny the fact that HA bars weren't keeping you in trend. And when we talk about trend, let me just jump over to one of our multiple trend study charts, which we showed here today in the trading room as well as online. And here you get a move like on ES or NQ for all that matters, and price action to keep you in the trend, whether you're watching Renko bars, HA Flex Renko, 5144s, multiple moving averages, any combination of these to keep you in the trend instead of feeling like, hey, you know what, you got to be the trader that has to go in and out all day. This is a nice tool. Pick one, choose them all. It doesn't matter. They all say the same thing. It's learning to stay in the trend once on the trade. All right, taking a look at the YM as we just saw quick on the indices. Again, across the board, it was the sell signal to the downside. Once you got down here, you had all 5 charts to the red, but didn't go down much further as, yeah, that T350 on the 4-hour chart was holding down here, and that's exactly where we bailed, and that was it. Left the YM alone for the rest of the day. NQ, again, with that nice move at the open, contra to the AD line, which didn't go very far except to the downside at first, finally followed through. There was the move to the downside, right to the midnight open, to the T. Look at that, NQ right to the T on the midnight open. Again, I shortcut that. I could have ran that all the way down, but just decided to go with the scalp. And price action, sure enough, midnight open, algos kick in, and price action right back upside, 25-minute open range, and I was back in. Let me see if I can get that study up. Oh, I don't have the 25-minute open range on here. So once that's set, you'll see that the breakout was above here, and nice move to the upside on 2 contracts, one off and back upside. ES, again, nice picture here on the ES in the afternoon session, but to the morning AM session, there it was. Sell signal downside on 5 charts in the red for a piece of the pie. All right, let's jump over to the daily trend number 2 chart as we see the EMD. These are the mid-cap 400s. It's price action again. Nice sell signal with the AD line to the downside, so that was your best entry of the day. All you're looking for is not necessarily in and out. You're looking for price action with the high highest probability, and there it was. Sell signal 5 charts, waited a little bit, and there it was. You had at least 2 to 3 charts and a price above the T350. Nice control, don't need to worry about anything here, and then there it is, a little pop towards the end. But again, by this session time, I'd be done. That was only with 5 minutes to go. Take a look at the 6E, like that bonds and gold today. Look at that euro today, 6E all the way to the upside. European market all the way up on the buy signal, 5 chart, 4 charts in the green, finally catching up, 5 charts. And there it is, 5 chart entry again. Pull back, leave it alone, buy signal breaks upside, and there you go, nice move. Taking a look at the yen, again, another nice move to the upside. ISM manufacturing, U.S. Open opening up, and there it goes. ISM, not a good number today. Price action, buy signal to the upside, Globex high, and we are into September as contract rollover coming out. Beans, not much to talk about on the slower time frame, maybe 10.7. This was a, 10.763. Might have gotten you a little bit of an earlier entry, but beans just on a small breakout here above the Globex high. Actually, we have a change in contract, so I got to change these moving averages. So we'll shift that here tonight and get that fixed for tomorrow. But overall, not much movement on the beans. Taking a look at the natty gas as price action, not bad. It's tough pullbacks here as you already had trend down to the London session low here. Price action bounces back up and whips right back down. So all you had to do is wait for that sell signal, 5 charts in the red, and continue. That's right, to make lower lows the whole time. So nice trending move on the beans. And wrapping up with platinum here is price action again, what was it we were looking at? The beans. Not much moving here. Buy signal to the upside and pretty much inside trading action. Again, you can see a nice little movement here on platinum. If you're patient, you wait enough, you got yourself a nice positive entry, you manage it, buy signal above, you would have waited for the second bar, solid Heikin-Ashi bar. So pretty much an inside session here on platinum itself. All right, looking ahead to tomorrow, as we say every day, just got to watch the charts. We have no idea where we're going. Let's go to daily big pick as volume today just about average, a little slightly above on the NQ. But I got to note, we're still sitting above that 50-200 as we tapped that almost 50 last week on the YM. But take a look at that, NQ streaming upside after holding up at the 50 EMA from last week. Right to the T there on the YM. That's right to the T as it held up. Nice move. Same thing on the ES. Got to watch those moving averages this morning as price action went right down. You got to love it. You got to appreciate it. Right there, that's it. T350 and the 144. And there it was, the bounce, and price action lifts once again. Taking a look at the other big pictures, taking a look at crude as we sit inside the 5200. I got to give crude kudos for staying up here, even though with the open gaps down below. A little concern on the 4-hour chart as we do get a lift here. We got to break through that 50, but before we do that, I have to see a confirmation on the 4-hour chart to get crude back upside the 50 and the 144. We break above that T350, we go for that 50 mark, but until then, right now, got to watch that, just watch that intraday. Can't make a decision long-term yet on the crude. Price action on the gold, again, a nice lift after several weeks of not too bad, about 1.5 weeks there, almost 2 weeks in the end of August. Price action getting a lift here above T350. That's what we're looking for on the crude as price action now breaking back upside the 50. So got to go with gold now on a nice pullback. Want to watch that T350 cross the 144. Then I'll give a full uptrend on the momentum on gold. But right now, nice healthy pullback, as well as on the bonds. As bonds lifts up here, watch the price action to the 144 resistance. If we push up, then watch the 50 EMA as we are in the gap right now. So momentum kind of split, only on a pullback here. And wrapping it up, take a look at the EMD. As we just saw in the chart today, it was all downside, but found that support off the 50 EMA. So I got to go with momentum still to the upside, as well as on the 6E Euro. But again, watch that T350 for the reject here. We did find the support off the 144. I like that on the daily. Good healthy volume today across the board, but we'll have to wait and see what Euro does here at the T350. Price action breaks upside. I got to go with the momentum as the 50 is still above the 144, and that's the reason for the green background. A little concern over here on the yen as price action again got that lift today. Still sitting right there at the 50 EMA on a daily, but I got to go with the momentum on the yen still to the downside. A little resistance here at the 144. I'll have to see what happens tomorrow, see where I would go with that. 50 still would have some time pushing above the 144 to give us the green background. Yen, again, been in a downtrend for almost a week and a half now. So intraday, you're ready in both directions, but right now, short-term pick, just in a pullback until we get confirmation back to the upside. All right, looking ahead as the calendar rolls out this week, Beige Book tomorrow, Jolts tomorrow, so two numbers I'll be looking at. NBA mortgage, we've got a Monday off. We've got to look for Thursday for the EIA report. Combine that with a half hour later on the natural gas split the two difference. And then rolling out Friday with the rig count as we head into contract rollover and we head into FOMC. And so should be an exciting month for September. All right, that concludes an insight into the state of the indices and the daily trend. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra of one simple strategy: any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at Trading Fibs. And as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. Only look for setups that are in front of me and on my charts. And as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. Have yourselves a blue zone day wherever you may be. Good day, good night, and good trading to ya.